And we're back.
Yes, it's been some time.
Oh my god. So, so much has happened. So much has happened, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for still being here. I don't even know if you're here. I don't even know
Yeah,
if anyone's listening. I know Lord knows we did not get any mail. But no one cared. There's been no, hey, when are you guys coming back?
like when's the next episode?
Yeah. It's you know, I hate getting into this like right away, but like this year has been just jam packed. This is the most jam packed, factful year I've ever had. And
I mean, I've done quite a bit. I mean, I've traveled quite a bit already.
yeah,
But
and
yeah,
then like when we left off, I'm like, I'm gonna have Mondays off, and I'm gonna no more. Those days are over for now. Um, yeah, so a lot to get to, and some announcements that we'll make in a bit. But yeah, so yeah, what are you drinking this year?
stuff I drank last year. Doing the beer hug right now. Uh, so right now, figured nice calm beer on a Sunday. Well, I don't know when you're listening to this, but for us, it's Sunday right
Yeah, yeah, we even had to change days. I mean,
now. Yeah,
we were doing a lot to accommodate our lives.
our lives to fit this show still in.
Yeah, it has been quite. It has been quite the time, to say the least. Right here on Drinks to Words by. Good to see that you're doing all that. I myself am. I'll show you right now what I'm drinking. I'm back to the old faithful, the cafecito.
The cafecito.
Yeah, because as you know, or maybe no one knows, nobody knows this, but daylight savings has
Yeah.
happened. Again, throwing another wrench into just kind of everything. And so,
It's always the worst part. It's always the worst half of the daylight savings because it's the we push forward, so then it's like you lose an hour and like, oh, I have this much time. I don't have any time.
not only that, but like your regime, like you know what I mean. Like it's really 10 o'clock, but even though it's
Yeah,
11, so I'm still in like wake up mode. And then I worked last night, did a wedding, which we'll get into. I guess we can get into now. Odd wedding, and I don't mean to say this in a bad way,
in a disrespectful way.
in a at all. Lovely bride, lovely groom, lovely guests, might I say. All very accommodating. But it was an open bar and nobody attacked it. We were staffed. We had so much alcohol left over. We had so much everything left over because these are the hardest things to plan. Whenever you have an open bar because you just don't know. And I hate when people are like, "Do we have enough of everything?" And I'm like, "I don't know because I don't know what people. I can't guess what people drink. If I
Yeah,
could guess,
I don't know your guests. I don't know your guests. Yeah,
yeah. And not only that, I would have to know each one individually because I can't say as a whole what they're gonna drink. And none of them drank that much. They everybody minded their p's and q's. Like this was, I don't, like, everybody was in detention. I don't know.
were there a lot of guests?
There was 124 people.
It's a good amount.
Yeah, yeah, and it's so weird. And I heard a bartender say this to me, and it stuck. And it's whenever somebody orders a Long Island, and you're just like, there's Long Island people. You're
There
like,
are Long
really,
Island people.
really, you're ordering this trash drink. You can have any drink you want. You're ordering this trash. Like,
It's
why?
free. You can pace yourself. You can try
Exactly.
other things.
Right. I've never understood I drank Long Island's when I was 21, and that was um that was a quick time in my life. Afterwards I just stopped, because I was like, these
But
are gross.
everybody when you're 21 has to drink Long Island's and Adios. It's like a rite of passage.
Yeah. But then
I mean,
after
kids nowadays don't have to do what we did. Like we grew up with Aftershock and fucking uh Goldschlager. Like no, you never hear anybody order Goldschlager now.
and then I don't know if this is still around, but it was called Sparks. It was alcohol with
Hmm.
an energy drink, which
Yeah.
you could say Red Bull and vodka, but this was even worse than that. So it was just like you were drunk but up.
So do you remember the Redwood?
The one in Covina?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So they used to have a drink with Sparks. It was called the short bus.
Oh my god.
It was a drop shot. So it was like half a glass of Sparks, and you dropped a shot of Southern Comfort, and you had to chug that down.
Oh my god. No,
Yeah.
no. I'm gonna go on a limb, and we have SoCo at my bar, and it just doesn't sell. They're like, what can you do to make this sell? I'm like, throw it away. I don't know. It is the and I want the novices out there. Like, what do you do with SoCo? Like, I just want to get rid of it. Like, I'll maybe keep one bottle if I could get rid of enough of it, just to keep around, just to say that we have it for that off chance.
Doesn't
But
An amaretto sour, doesn't that have Southern Comfort in it?
no, it has amaretto. That's what it's called,
No, I
amaretto.
thought it was mixed in with it though.
Well, guess
I don't
what
know.
it
Fuck
is
it.
now. I'm gonna do you a favor, buddy. I'm gonna throw some of this in there.
Float on top. Southern Comfort and Coke? I don't know. I mean, I guess.
All I ever knew was a SoCo lime, which is essentially a gimlet, a SoCo gimlet. You
Mm.
know, that was it. And yeah, and that might be my goal for this year. By the way, Happy New Year.
No, we've shot before that. We've
No,
shot since New Year.
no, we
Yes,
haven't.
we have. Yes, we
No,
have.
we talked. We've talked since New Year.
We didn't shoot before I left on the 15th.
No, we were just us. It was just me and you. Just
We didn't have a show before I left for the national championship game.
no.
Holy shit!
It's
Oh my
been
god!
it's been since December.
Oh my god!
We've tried.
Happy New Year!
To all of our fans out there.
This is like until the show's canceled. We
I know.
we canceled ourselves for a while.
I know. That's what I'm trying to say.
Wow,
This is the clip.
it is a clip. I didn't think it was that long. I thought we shot in January. I thought we recorded in January.
No.
Holy fuck nuts!
Yeah.
We should just do sports for the rest of the fucking
I,
for the rest of the show.
I mean, we can't. I mean, there's not really much to talk about.
I mean, you had a wedding. People didn't drink.
Yeah,
I
that was odd. That was super odd. But that
weddings like you drink at weddings. Like I went to a wedding where it's like it was a Muslim wedding, and they still had a bar there.
Wow, that's strange.
Yeah, yeah. Like it was comedy because like I was uh I was one of the groomsmen, and there was a bar set up, and like where we were at, like I was like right at the very edge, like right next to the bar, and they started setting up the bar while the ceremony was going on, and the bride looks at me and goes, "I go put these down, put these down." Now, mind you, it was only beer. I
Yeah,
was like, "I'll be back."
yeah.
Footwits.
That's a this didn't happen at this one. Again, this one was a really good wedding, but like usually, we're setting up the bar as the wedding is about to proceed, and the bar is like right next to everything. It's pretty much the centerpiece. And people come in, can I get a drink as we're still setting up? I'm like, dude, everything is after the wedding. Everybody thinks that they're special and that they
Yeah,
can, get drinks and stuff I'm like, the only person that can do that is the bride and groom. I'm like, they're the only ones that have that carte blanche, that could come in. And even then, I'm only giving them a beer. I'm like, I don't have enough ice. I don't have enough this. I'm very like, I'm very strict.
you're the fucking soup Nazi of fucking wedding bars.
I am, and I'm gonna tell
No
you
drink for
something.
you.
Yeah, no alcohol for you. you
No,
know,
I don't.
and I think I'm a nice guy. Like I think I'm a pretty genuine person, but when I'm bartending, I'm a completely different person. I mean, I still have my comedy and stuff like that. I still talk to everybody and stuff like that. But I'm very like kind of by the book, and I I put everything in in the jigger, and even my Long Island's I put in the jigger. I'm like, look, guys, I'm like, I can't overserve you on this trash drink.
Yeah, but you're pouring foreign liquors. Like you could free pour that, under pour it, and still come out looking amazing.
You're right. You're right.
You're, there you go. And they just see liquor because of the ice. Oh my god,
Yeah,
I'm gonna get some drunk.
I never thought of that. I'm just like,
Yeah.
I'm just looking at them like just as I'm pouring into the jigger, like you motherfuckers. How dare you order this trash drink?
It's very,
Sweet and sour, and now here's some fucking Coke. Why? I don't
yeah.
know.
And it's Pepsi, by the way. You're like, no.
You know what? On those trash drinks, I stopped I don't know how into drinks you are. I know you're quite the connoisseur, but like that one requires triple sec, to round everything out. And I'm like, it's a garbage drink. I'm not putting triple sec in this. Like this is trash. I'm not gonna try to.
Let me put triple. Let me bougie this up with some triple sec.
Yeah,
No, no. Sweet sour Coke. Get the fuck out of here.
that's it. Get out of here with your
You get a
trash.
cherry. You get a cherry.
No, it's a lemon. They get a lemon.
Is it 11? I don't fucking
Yes.
know.
Oh my.
I can't remember the last time. Doesn't one of those fucking, or is it the adios that get the
The
cherry?
adios is a cherry and a
Okay.
lime. Cherry and a lime.
That doesn't make any. Yeah, whatever. I mean, I don't drink that shit anymore.
Yeah, yeah. I stopped all
You
that.
know what? Fuck that. I'm gonna go. One of these days, I'm just gonna order one of these fucking things at a bar, just to piss people off. Hey, can I get an adios?
Oh my god. Oh my god. If we ever go back to the bar and record, that's all you're drinking. All the trash drinks.
Adios. Oh yeah. This is the shortest show ever.
I know. Which, by the way, we are ramping up to 200. When will that? Maybe next year that'll happen with our
Maybe,
schedules.
yeah.
Maybe,
At this point, fucking 2 years from now, the way we're going.
but we'll get there. We will get
Yeah,
there eventually. Uh, I promise you. Um,
that might
and
be the swan song.
I know.
It's like, got here. Woo!
Yeah, speaking of the bar, I wanted to get your take on this. Um, what happens when you have two sets of friends that go to the bar and they have an altercation and now they don't get along? Like I'm not saying that I'm going through that right now, but
Are you asking for a friend?
for our friend, no, just kidding. No, but yeah, yeah, but I was told that two people that I know got not an altercation, but just had a disagreement, and are no longer talking with each other, and that I- as an outsider but kind of insider, it's just like it's like we don't pick sides anymore, right? Like that's not a thing, right? I don't say, well, I'm going to side with this friend or I'm going to side with that friend. Or is that still high school?
I mean, I remember there was a situation like that in high school, or not in high school, but like after high school. But it had more to do with uh, extracurricular activities, if you know what I mean. Uh, I don't know. I mean, I'm not a choose side kind of guy. It just depends on how wrong one person is. Like if it's like really bad, then yeah, you like okay, man, no, I can't. Like you showed me another side of you. But especially like you're not there for it, then like what do you want me to do? I wasn't
Yeah,
a part of that. You know what I mean? I can be cool with both of you. Uh, but yeah, I mean, it does become that situation where like you who's in the middle, like you go here, talk to them, and you go here, talk to them, and you're like stuck in between. I think people who ask you to choose are being the immature ones at this age. I think if they ask like, "Oh, you can't talk to them anymore," like we're not fucking 12. I don't have an issue with them. You might, but it's not me.
yeah,
But it does kind of go with like what was the argument like how far did one person take it and like was it warranted?
yeah. And this goes into a segment that we haven't done in quite some time, which is bar etiquette.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna go COVID pickup lines.
I wish. I wish I had some pickup lines. I mean, like I'd buy you a dozen eggs. That's a COVID pickup line these
That's
days.
yeah, yeah. I got egg money.
I got egg money, woman. Or I could just, or we can. Is this creepy? I could be like, your eggs are more priceless. You know, is that creepy?
I'm just like, I would have gone more with like when's the last time you had an omelet?
Ah, can I
Can make you
scramble?
brag.
Can I scramble
Can
your
make you
eggs?
there. I see egg for egg.
Yeah. See what you missed, ladies and gentlemen. Log on to drinkswordsby.com. There we have a Venmo. Feel free to Venmo us some money because you missed us. Um, and before we get into the bar etiquette, I this is kind of a public service announcement. So this is going to get a little technical, but me and David, obviously, we do this virtually. And the system that we use is this system called Skype. A lot of people are like, Skype, how old are you? Well, we're pretty fucking old. Okay. And everyone's like, why don't you just move over to Zoom? And Zoom costs money. Okay. And here's the thing, we've had a Venmo for how long we do this? 6, 7 years, right?
Yeah, about there.
And every now and then we'll get some money. Okay. and we'll use it, but we haven't gotten money in a long time. We always make a joke of it, but we haven't gotten money in a long time. So the reason why all this is going to come together is because Skype is closing. So in order for us to do the show, we need to find another way. The only way right now that we thought of is Zoom, and that costs $200 a year. Okay, and you're saying why don't you just when I do Zoom, it's free. I'm like, well, yeah, it's free for like the first 40 minutes, and then afterwards you have to pay. And let's face it, unless me and David just like, I mean, which we could try. We could try doing a 40-minute show, you
Yeah.
know, but it
You don't
requires a
get the
lot.
full. You don't get the full effect if we're cutting it down.
Exactly, exactly. So starting today with this show, we need to start to raise $200. $200 a year is not a lot, especially with everyone listening. Um, I don't even know if anyone's listening, but because we've been gone for so long. But with that said, we would really appreciate it if you guys could donate. You're probably asking, why don't you guys do this for and pay out of your own pocket? No, because what you guys don't know, and I might have to start another campaign, is every year I have to pay $700 uh for the um for all the audio. So like everything is stored on a server. Like, if you really are into podcasting and the technical part of it, you know that everything's stored at servers and stuff like that that you have to rent. But every year that this is something new, especially because I've been having these servers for so long, because not only does it house this show, it houses a bunch of my other shows. And so every year I have to pay $700 just to keep everything up. So that's $900. And I think if you guys took 200 out of that, I'm forking over the 700 just to keep the show up. And I really think 200 is a small thing to ask, considering I'm taking the biggest chunk out of this.
I wasn't even aware of the 700 though. I feel bad. Like you
Yeah,
didn't tell me that.
it's a lot. Um, so yeah, so to say that we do this for the love is truly we do this for the love, but we really need your help. Shit, I need your help. you know, because I love doing this, but there's at a certain point where it's just like I can't keep this up. There's and this is what brings me to our um bar etiquette. Politics. Don't talk about it in bars, okay? And the reason why I say that is, my job is being affected by a lot of political things going on. And I'm already facing some cuts that are going to happen. But luckily, I'll still have a job. So, yeah, the it is it's going to be rough for the next couple of years. But if you help us weather the storm, I would really, really appreciate it. And that's kind of my spiel with all that. So didn't mean to turn a weird corner there, but we just
Bling bling bling
yeah, yeah. And with that, sports, ladies and gentlemen.
bling. Sports. How far back do we go, sir?
Fuck. I mean, I don't know how far back.
I don't know. I don't know. It was very cold in Atlanta for me. I'll tell you this much.
It wasn't
But
hot.
it was
Isn't it
hot
hot, man?
again. It was not. It was fucking freezing, Atlanta. It was fucking 18 degrees while I was outside, where parking some buses. But as you can see, and you can see, the better team came up on top.
This is odd because I've never seen you in that hat.
I literally bought this. I got this hat before I even left for Atlanta.
No way.
Yeah, I got it's with the Buckeyes.
Oh,
Yeah,
is that what that is? I thought that
yeah.
was marijuana leaves. I'm like, that's an odd
Nope.
hat for David to
It's
wear.
for me for David. Since David doesn't do the marijuanas.
Yeah.
No, it's like the helmet. It's the Buckeyes from the helmet. So I saw it on some fucking you know fucking social media shop, and I was like, I'm gonna do it. Bought it, but I couldn't even take it to Atlanta because one, I don't like wearing hats on the plane, and I didn't want it to get all fucked up. I didn't have like a case to carry it in. But yeah, I felt it's only appropriate since it is the first show we've done of the year, apparently.
And not only that, David, I mean, this is quite a poignant moment in your life because you even changed your social media profile picture.
I did. I did.
Was that because
But it
it
was
had me on it, the Notre Dame fan, and you're like,
no, no.
only the Buckeyes.
I think I changed that when we first did the show. Like it was that long ago, and I hadn't changed since. So I was like, time for a change. I'll probably go back because you're my buddy. But I was like, it was a good way to fit in that picture that I hadn't fit in. Like, hey,
Yeah,
me with the national. Yeah,
yeah. And tell me about the trophy. Did you get to touch it? Did you get to take it out for a
I
few
didn't know. No, there's
drinks?
security. There's security.
You're the
So
security. That's the
no, I'm not security. That's what everyone thinks. They go, I don't do security for every show I go to. I was doing transportation. The first thing I was doing was handling fucking cars getting screens to go into the stadium in cold weather. It was fucking cold. So like they bring the area we were in. They brought they brought the trophy, and they let all the like officers. They had fucking Homeland Security where we were at. So like all the cops and shit where we were at. So then we're waiting in line basically while all these cops and shit are taking pictures, and we take our picture. Like, hey. I was like, this is as close as I'm gonna get, so might as well take a photo. You know me, I'm not a very photo-esque
You're
person. Like
not. Yeah,
I'm not gonna go like, oh, I gotta take a picture with these people. Considering I've been around a lot of famous people.
yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it was just I was like, oh yeah, I went through my scroll. I was like, oh, this is a cool picture. I forgot I had this little photo dump. Yeah,
It,
man, it was obviously a better experience for me being there because I'm an actual Ohio State fan.
right, right. And for the game, it was exciting up until the second half. It was a pretty tight game, and then the second half happened, and then it was over.
Well, here's what I'd say. In watching that game, uh, Notre Dame they killed their quarterback in that first series. They ran like 11 plays. He ran it like 9 times. And yeah, you guys scored a touchdown, great. But he threw up right after, so he was already spent. So it took a while for him to like try to recover. And then the third quarter, started making some passes and stuff. But then they let that fucking beautiful pass down the
Yeah,
sidelines to the number one receiver in the nation. Like,
yeah,
how do you not double cover that guy? Where's your safety?
yeah, yeah. It was an interesting day that day because that game was on, and uh, this isn't sports related, obviously, but I got a sunroof in my car. I know I've been talking about doing it and stuff, and so that day, and I just happened to be that day that the sunroof was getting on, and oh my god, I had a like I was watching a little bit of the game, and then at halftime, I like went to go pick up my car, and then it wasn't ready, so I had them like turn the game on, there at the shop, and they were lagging, and I was just watching the game, and then it just started sucking, and I'm just like, oh my god. I'm like, what fucking misery am I in? My fucking car's not ready. Everyone's looking at me watching the fucking me lose. I'm just like,
Hey, I mean, I'm over there like huddled like this. I can't even like text because I like my glove didn't have like the ability. So for me to take my like the text or like even text you, I'm like hands freezing. Like, put glove back on. It was fucking cold. Oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, are you still feeling the national championship? Are you still waking up trophy winner?
I mean, I'll ride the high as long as I can, until next season. I go, I mean, like our entire defense is graduating, so we're losing a lot this year. So I mean, I'm not expecting anything from next year. Honestly, I'm not. It's going to be another 2 years, and I'm okay. I mean, we lost both our coordinators as well. Like it was like wash it all out. But
Yeah.
I'm going to ride it as best I can.
Yeah, they're trying to take our head coach. You know, I believe it was the Bears. I think we're looking to recruit him, but he said he wanted to stay, and he's still building. And for
Good.
me, that was a pretty solid decision. I was like, yeah, man. I remember when Marcus Freeman first came, everybody was like, no, this guy sucks. I mean, it's at any program, especially like Notre Dame and Ohio State, and those storied franchises in college football, you are under such a microscope.
Yeah.
And
So much scrutiny.
yeah, and for him to go above that scrutiny and then finally get to this place, it speaks a lot of him, and I'm glad that he's staying. And we'll see next year. Did you like the tournament style this year? That was the new one.
I mean, yes, because it allowed Ohio State to get in and win the national championship. Had it not been expanded, they wouldn't have got in. Uh, I think I liked the home game, and somebody had also mentioned that like the second round when the people with the bye, like you have the bye, but you don't get home field advantage. I think that's a disadvantage. So I
Mm,
think they should bypass the bowl games and run it as just like home game. I think they need to eliminate the bowl game situation. I know it's a lot of money, and I think they need to get other teams to play those. But I think that if you're gonna like Oregon, you went undefeated, you beat Ohio State early in the year, and then you got mollywopped at the Rose Bowl. Like you got bombarded. Like, but you came in riding the high, but you don't have that home field advantage. Now you have 50-50 like fans. So it's a disadvantage for a lot of those teams.
yeah. I think if it's a bowl, it should be a bowl series, but by like it should be done by like Kellogg's Raisin Bran. Hear me out, right? Each each bowl you get something. Like, okay, they just won the Flake Bowl. Now they got to win the Raisin Bowl. Now the Almond Bowl. Now the Milk Bowl. They've completed the entire cereal bowl, right?
The spoon bowl, the bowl bowl.
Yeah, they've done it. They won the entire thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You get one complete cereal bowl. It's
Exactly.
like just collecting pieces along the way. We only got to brand flakes this year,
Yeah.
but next year we're getting it all. That's funny. No, I mean, did you like it? Did you think like
I only liked it from the perspective of working at a bar, because I'm like, okay, something's on, perfect. Just like right now. Right now we're about to go into March Madness, and it's just a no-brainer. It's like, oh, I could have two college, basketball games. I don't even know who they are. No one knows who they are, but it's madness. So let's just put it
yeah,
on and, you
it's
know,
March and there's madness. Yeah,
yeah, so for me it was a win, and just building up to, the national championship for me was a good experience for that. Let's talk about the big game that happened, Uh,
The
the
Super Bowl,
Yeah, the Chiefs, and they played
the,
the
the
uh,
Philadelphia Eagles, the
Philadelphia
Philadelphia
Eagles.
Eagles. Yeah, the Eagles. I mean, the Chiefs shit the bed.
Yeah,
They shit the bed. I'm kind of glad I was working. Like, I was gone for 18 days, man. I was beat by the end of it. I went from Orlando straight to New Orleans, and I was tired. But I'm I'm happy that somebody else won. I would have preferred a better game.
yeah,
Not that I watched any of it because I was out working, but like you just kind of want like the year before, right? It came down. Didn't they go to overtime last year?
yeah.
In yeah, right.
They did, yeah.
Like you want the pressure, you want the excitement. Like when one team's up like fucking two touchdowns, four to three touchdowns, you're like me. All right. And in I heard the commercials weren't that great either, so I'm like, I'm getting nothing out of this.
Yeah, the commercials are now just becoming just normal commercials, and I'm just like, oh man, like before it was an event, and now it's just I don't know if it's just because I'm getting older or what. It's just I'll still watch it, but this is the first time I got to watch it because we didn't do an event at where I work, and they're thinking about just canceling it for a while. Um, so I was able to kind of just experience the whole thing. I watched it at my brother's house, so that was cool just to be around people and stuff like that. And watch it. Kendrick Lamar. Um, yeah, yeah, that was cool. Um, and I'm not that much of a not that I'm a fan or anything, but I just don't listen to that style of music really. But it was cool. I enjoyed Samuel L. Jackson. Um, but my
Playing Uncle Sam,
yeah, it's like wait, Samuel L. Jackson playing Uncle Sam, brilliant.
brilliant.
But I will say this, and if I catch if you throw shade on me or what I don't know the terminology. I was burnt out by Not Like Us because like a week or two before it won like song of the year, record of the year. It won tons and tons of accolades and great. And then the Dodgers used it, you know, and they kept on using it. So like I was pretty burnt out on that song by the time it got to Super Bowl, and it was just like it was all around me. And I'm like, I need a
Yeah.
break from this song. I don't mind Kendrick Lamar, but I just need a break from that particular song. It was
Oh, it's the most streamed song in fucking Spotify history. So it's like when I was like, gotta play it. Well, no,
I
okay. Look at it this way. Look at it this way. It's like um Chris Stapleton, right?
yeah,
Like Tennessee Whiskey is the song. So if like and working at a bar, you get burnt out from that song.
right,
I get so
right.
you're listening to three, four times a night, you're like, oh god damn, here we go again. But like if he's in concert and he doesn't play it, then you're like, where's the song? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I'm not going to the concert. That's the difference. Maybe
It
I
was a
should. I
concert
don't
though.
know.
It was a concert.
I know. I know. I get it. I get it. I was just a little burnt out, by it. But I was like, oh yeah, he does that song, and I'm like, oh yeah, he does that song. You know what I mean? So I was like, all right, yeah, cool. So yeah, yeah, but I mean, it was a cool performance. I enjoyed it. Um, yeah. Uh, I my only thing was I was like Kendrick Lamar. I was like, but this is when they first announced it. I'm like, is he big? And apparently he is. So I was just like, all right, it just makes me even more like feel like I'm more out of touch with music now.
I mean, don't you still have a music podcast?
I do, which is the irony. I do, but it's helping up and coming artists as well. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah. I mean, but he used to be an up and coming artist. You got to think about it like that. You
yeah,
don't, you never know.
yeah. Who's gonna be big and who isn't?
Yeah,
It's all a crapshoot, uh,
yeah.
if you will.
I mean,
So that pretty much gets us now to baseball season.
well,
Only
basketball season. I mean,
oh, that's right,
The
we're in basketball season.
The
Yeah.
Luca trade. What do you like? You're a Laker fan. What did you What did you think of the
I
Luca trade?
they're like they're trading for Luca, and they're like everyone's going crazy. I'm like, I guess I should be going crazy. Okay, I was like, okay,
Yeah, because if you're a fan of basketball, then you're like, oh my god, how does that happen? And you're like over here like, yeah, how does it happen?
yeah. No, really, how did that happen? Because
How did
I'm
that
not paying
happen?
attention. And then I get to say stuff that like means so, like to everyone means something. You mean LeBron and LaDuca on the same channel? I mean
Luca, no,
Court
Luca,
DeLuca
the Luca.
on the same team?
What?
Unbelievable! I would have never thought of that.
Yeah, dude, they want to kill the GM from fucking the Mavericks. Like, wow, what the fuck were you thinking?
Well, no, I've read a little bit about this about what the fuck he was thinking, and apparently his contract was about to be up, and they just didn't have the money. They didn't have the money to pay him for what he wanted, and
That would have been
that's the basic principle of it.
yeah. I mean,
But I don't
still,
know.
you could have got more. You could have got more for that than he did.
But at the same time, and help me out with this, and for all those listening, by the way, for all those listening, we're at the 42-minute mark. So had this, if you don't pay $200 for 1 year,
Show's over. Show's
it
over.
show's over. That's it. You wrote. I would be keeping making that that remark for the next couple shows, just to drive it home. But you're in charge of a team, and clearly have the face of the franchise, the future on it. Why wouldn't you invest? Like that's I think that's the hardest part for a GM, and I hate saying this, but it is a business.
Yeah,
And
hundred
they
percent.
yeah, and with this player, it's like I don't know. If I was a GM, and again, a lot of people have said this, so it's not within that realm. They would have kept him because he would have made more money on the merchandising, and just he would have been the face. And it seems so weird. A lot of the faces of basketball end up being Lakers, and I don't know if that's a conspiracy or not, but it just seems that like if people want to really brand themselves, they go to the Lakers.
It's not even so much the Lakers. You have to go to a big market. You got to go to New York, Miami. It's but you look, or even now even Golden State. Now you want to
Yeah,
be fucking part of the market. You got to go to Golden State. You got to play Steph Curry like Jimmy Butler did. Um, that's why I love the fact that Cleveland and OKC are leading the national, the NBA because they're small markets. So it kind of goes back to the early '90s basketball. Remember when you were playing NBA Jam and every team fucking you could play with any team on NBA Jam? You're like, oh, they have stars on it.
yeah,
The Charlotte Hornets with fucking Larry Johnson and
yeah.
Alonzo Mourning. You're like,
That's
yeah,
right.
fucking, he's on fire. And it got to a point where like you couldn't get that anymore. It was all outside. It's kind of like baseball. Like that's why a lot of the small market teams can't compete because they don't have Dodger money or Yankee money. So this is I'm liking where basketball is right now, and I can say that because I'm a Cavs fan. But in general, just like all right, these small market teams they built up their team. They got smart people in their office. and built the teams around young talent. So it works. I mean, if this is the future of NBA, we're in a good spot. It can you can root for some other teams like, oh, you know what, they fucking go Timberwolves. You know what I mean? I hear they're trying to bring back the Supersonics. I would love for Seattle to get
Yeah,
a team. That's dope.
that'd be supersonic for sure. Um, with that, I keep on reading that NBA television, the games are getting smaller viewership. They're losing fans, and they want to do some just different things. Like one thing I heard was that they're gonna only allow X amount of 3 pointers because the game is being lost to the 3 pointer. Did you hear that?
I haven't. I haven't. You can't put that rule into play. Because I mean, the 3 pointer is exciting. I mean, if you're hitting them, if you're missing, then you're like, fuck, here we go again. Like, but the problem is nobody like. You look at like Tim Duncan, right? Tim Duncan is my favorite NBA player of all time. Like, and I'm a LeBron fan, but like to me, Tim Duncan, they what they call him, big fundamental, right? Because he played the game smart. He hit bank shots. Nobody wants to see the dude hitting off the bank anymore. Nobody wants the 18-foot bank shot. The NBA, it's not that. They want to see. I get it. You want to see dunking and stuff. You want to go to the hole, but like even big men don't play like big men anymore. You don't have a Shaq or a Lajuan or David Robinson like posting up. There's nobody posting up in the fucking anymore. It's all 3 point shots and then drive and it's not the same NBA. So you can't. The game has evolved because the players have evolved. So I don't know what people want. I mean, we're not playing Hoosier. We're not playing the Hoosiers. Shout out to Gene
Yeah,
Hackman. It's not Hoosiers. You're not playing fundamental ball. So I don't know. I can't explain it. I haven't heard that rule, but it wouldn't. It can't go into effect. It would ruin the game.
right, right. So, just some food for thought that I've been reading about and stuff like that. Um, Baseball, we are just a few days away from.
Moments away from
Yes.
your euphoria.
Oh yes. And then I can go back to this is the oddest part about my life, right? I have so much Dodger gear that I look forward to Dodger season just so I can have clothes to wear again. You know, is that odd?
Do you only wear it during the season?
I only wear it during the season. My clothes is seasonal. Like I had like even my Notre Dame stuff I only wear in season. And like
You're only wearing it because I was wearing the Ohio State hat,
yeah,
so you
that's
know.
it. That's it. I haven't worn this since the game.
So because of work, I can't wear stuff like this. I can't wear Ohio State gear because I have to be neutral, right? Because I'm working. But sure enough, as soon as the game was over, I put my beanie on, and the buses we were parking, like it either had Ohio State or had like Notre Dame fans, just like waving, bye. We
Rule
won.
number one.
We won.
Yeah, like right now, my clothes for right now has been after the Super Bowl. It was hockey. I've been wearing King stuff, but that's only for like 2 months because I'm like, okay, you guys only get this short like reach, and then once baseball starts, but it always depends how the Kings are doing, and they're not doing so hot right now. So I'm like, I'm cool with moving to Dodger gear in April.
You know something I missed in hockey though? They do the outdoor games.
Yeah, those are cool.
Yeah, I totally missed that they had a game at Ohio State. The Columbus was it Blue Jackets?
Yeah.
They had a game in Ohio State Stadium, and they scripted Ohio on the ice, and I was just like, "Fuck!" I'm like, I would have enjoyed watching that. That'd have been dope.
Yeah.
Not be able to find that and go watch it, and just like watch the beginning of that. But yeah, I think that's a good way of bringing hockey in. You know, I think that's actually a really cool way of incorporating hockey into like a broader spectrum. 'Cause I'm not saying hockey isn't popular, but is it as much
Um,
as people make it out to be?
it's I think hockey has a cult fan base, and I mean that in a good way. The people that
Yeah,
like hockey, and they will support it. Whereas right now, we just started the MLS season and American soccer, and it had a base, but then they did a lot to eliminate it by going to a streaming service. And so that kind of like I like the
what service is it?
LAFC. They're on the Apple Plus, and
Ooh,
and not only that, but just because you have Apple, you have to pay for the season, so it doesn't come in the season. So now you got to pay for it, you know,
yeah,
and so
and
that
maybe and honestly, I think that's what's going on with basketball as well because it's very difficult to watch games. They don't show a lot of games unless you have different services. I think like you can catch a game on Max, and then you can catch a game on fucking like TBS, and like there's it's becoming very is it convoluted that I'm saying is the proper term like in regards to like mixing and matching, trying
yeah
to find games and watch sports. Like sometimes like I'll be like, oh, I'm gonna watch. Mind you, I really enjoyed the pit on Max. And you're like, oh, they're showing a fucking basketball game on here, you know. But that is also, I have to admit, that is why I have Paramount Plus because they show Champions League games, so they show soccer on Paramount Plus. So that, I mean, I'm also a victim to that
yeah
the monopoly that is sports on certain streaming services.
yeah, and that's why it's there because that's what the streaming services need in order to survive. And they're going to be paying a lot of money just to have those games. If I was the ownership, and I'm not, you know, and this goes against everything, I would just have an app and say you get to pay for your team. That's it. You want to watch all your team's games? We'll give you the app and you can watch just your team's game, and that's it. I think a lot more people would do that, and it would help a lot. That's just me, but I understand that there's a way more money in the rights and stuff like that, so that's never going to happen. Why are ownerships and stuff going to do stuff for the fans when they could make money? That is that's tough.
Well, you look at like even going back to college football, the Big Ten, they signed a $1 billion TV deal with Fox Sports, right? Uh, but that gets spread out through all the colleges, so it helps every college, even though the lesser colleges, like you're not like Northwestern as opposed to Ohio State, and you look at the playoffs, Ohio State brought the Big Ten like another 46 to $50 million in revenue just because they won those games. Like it's money that goes back into the conference. So that's another reason that like college football's like, hey, we're sharing this, we're putting this out there. Now imagine that happened in like the NFL, like the AFC North. Like if the Ravens win Super Bowl, then the Browns get some money, the Bengals get some money, the Steelers get some money. You dude, that'd be wild.
You might be
If you make a
onto
super team.
something. You might be onto something. It goes again. I like that, and you combine that as well with the with the soccer leagues, and you promote, an AFL team or a USFL team. You know what I mean? You promote them up,
Yeah,
and because they're part of that league, they get some bonus cash to like help them out. You
yeah.
know, and then
I
there's
mean, if sports went to regulation like soccer, dude, it would be amazing. Like you have a D League team that just came up because the fucking the Wizards
yeah,
tanked their season.
yeah, yeah. I like it. I would hope, but these. these leagues are too institutionalized for that to happen, and they would
Yeah.
never allow that,
No.
unfortunately. Is that we just went a while in sports, so yeah,
And kept it with sports.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Um,
I did put a pin in there, but other than that, yeah.
yeah, yeah. Let's move on. We should have just the segment where we just talk TV, like sports
So
TV.
TV. Yeah, we do that. We have a lot. Right now, as I stated, I've been watching The Pit.
Right. And for those that don't
Uh,
know, that is a show about um, a
it's a
hospital,
medical
right,
show.
in Pittsburgh.
It's in Pittsburgh. It's a emergency room, and I love the way they do it. Have you watched it at all?
No, I've only heard about it. It's on my list of. Here's the thing, okay. Once Dodger season starts, forget about it. Forget about it. Unless the Dodgers are on the road and playing at an early time or have the day off, my eyes are exclusively Dodgers. So
I get that.
yeah, I only have like a few weeks to try to get as much regular stuff in before my love of the Dodgers just outweighs everything else.
So the concept of the show is that each episode is an hour in the day.
Like
Yeah,
24.
kind of like that, but I don't, they're not going to go that far. It's like it's one shift, which either like 12-hour shifts or So every episode is an hour of the day, and everything that happens in an emergency room within that hour.
Jeez.
So yeah, it's wild. It's a great concept. It's it's a slow burn. Like you kind of get used to like you expect like something to be done and then go on to like a new thing, but it's like a case will come in, but they're still dealing with the other case, and then finally it gets resolved. And yeah, it's acting good. Noah Weil. I mean, he started off in medical shows, so I think he was like the perfect person to have here because like not only is he experienced in medical shows, but he's like older now. He knows how to. He used to be the rookie. Now he's the
Yeah.
captain of the fucking squad type thing. Um, so it's cool. I enjoy it. I think you would enjoy it. I think you would enjoy the writing and like just like the randomness of it.
Yeah, I hope I want 1 hour to at least be in the cafeteria. You know, like just something like not.
No. The thing is like people who were actually in the medical field so say that this is as real a medical show as you can get. Like it's like legitimately like they're hitting like all the points of being in the emergency room. So when you take that in consideration, you also like, all right, cool. Like if it was a military show and military men like this is what it's like to be in the military, then you're like, okay, I can kind of I can relate to more military people because of this show. Like I have never lived their life, but if they're saying this is kind of their life, then you can kind of okay, like I have even more respect for somebody in the military. Not that
Yeah.
I'm saying, yeah,
I've been the slow burn for me has been I've been watching Severance. It's on the Apple
okay.
Plus,
Mhm.
and that's a wild show. It's super slow burn. And it's so slow that like the first season happened and then 3 years later we're in the second season.
Dude, this is the
Pretty slow.
problem that I'm having with yeah, this is the problem that I'm having with TV now. Like we shouldn't have to wait years for the next season. Because they're like, dude, like now this person doesn't even look the same. Like I'm not growing up with this person anymore. It's like you you didn't have a fucking a deep voice. It's like you grew up with Peter changing his voice
Yeah,
in the Brady Bunch. Now it's
yeah,
like person's a man now. What the fuck happened?
yeah. I've been watching
I'm
that.
I'm a big advocate against the prolonged season. Like, dude, fucking bang it out every year.
Yeah. I've been hearing a lot of good things. I haven't yet started the new Reacher, but everybody's just
I was literally just gonna bring it up. Yeah,
yeah, everybody. But it's on my things to do. What have I saw? I've been I banged out a season of. I've been banging out a lot of quick one seasons of stuff that have been that's been on the man. What have I watched? Well, whatever I've watched, it's been good. I'm watching The White Lotus, obviously. Um, just
I
because
haven't got into that.
I saw the first one I like, the first season I liked, the second season had Audrey Plaza, so I was like, yeah, and then this season now I'm just like, well, I'm like I'm already sucked in, you know what I mean? And now, so I'm just watching it because that's that this guy, what's his name, Woggins or something like that. He played the stepbrother or the brother-in-law in Righteous Gemstones, and
Yeah,
then
yeah, yeah. I know.
he was in Fallout, and I really like this actor guy. He's really cool. So I'm kind of watching it just for him. Um,
I can't wait for Fallout to come out. I enjoy Fallout.
yeah, I saw all the Oscar movies pretty much. I saw all of them.
Have you really?
Yeah, yes.
I don't know, man. Like I can't watch Conclave, and the Brutalist is 3 hours. I'm like,
Conclave was fantastic.
which one?
Conclave was fantastic. That's what should have won Best Movie in my opinion. It was so good. Um, the Brutalist was fucking brutal. It was 3.5 fucking hours. You know,
Yeah, like the last 3 hour movie that I watched and enjoyed was fucking Braveheart, and after that, I was like, all right, I'm out of 3 hour movies. Like
yeah.
I need to fucking I need a break.
Well, I
But
was watching
could
it
that
at
could
home, so that
wait, wait, could that be because of the way TV is now that we don't have to watch things in duration, like it's cut up so much?
that could be, yeah.
Our attention spans just don't retain fucking 3 hours worth of fucking
Um,
movie.
no, I think they do, but you're older. Like for the new kids on the block, they're just born with short attention spans now. We our generation, and by that meaning, us right now that are in our 40s, we experienced coming out of the cave, if you will. We were right in the middle of the dinosaurs and now, you know, the Flintstones. You know what I mean? It's so crazy because we grew up without internet, without social media, and all that stuff we grew with, and now it's a part of our lives, and we've known our lives without it. Whereas kids, you know, have no
Yeah,
idea have no idea what that was before. Not only that, they can now binge watch um series, whereas we had to either record it on a V8 VCR, and hopefully get the right one, or
DVR.
well, then later on DVR, and then so
Yeah,
we're this weird generation of historians that are right in the
it's
middle.
you know what? I mean, that's a good way to put it because it's wild to me that through our lives we've gone through so many different sets of I don't know recording gadgets. Like we went from cassette, 8 track before 8 track was before me, cassette.
Well, there was vinyl.
Then
There's always been vinyl, you know.
vinyl stays okay. But like what I'm saying is like let's go like movie wise, right? You have VHS, then you had DVD, then you have Blu-ray. Now none of that fucking exists. I mean, people have
Wait,
hundreds of DVDs and like
yeah, but then there's streaming, and then there's 4K streaming. You know,
yeah,
it's just like boom,
yeah.
boom, even bigger.
Like I've like I said, I bought a couple movies just to say I have like a movie that I can watch. Like oh yeah, I'm gonna spend fucking $5.99 and buy Streets of Fire, which nobody's fucking seen but like me.
Yeah,
I have things to do in Denver when you're dead. Again, movies that I think are so random, like they don't come out a lot on streaming services. So I'm like, I'm gonna buy it on fucking Amazon because Amazon lets you buy it. I'm like, okay, I have a little library of things that if anybody ever asks, here, I can show you this movie.
yeah, yeah.
This is this.
Um, I have no idea where we're at. I don't know what we were talking about. We just
We were talking about series that we were watching.
oh yeah, series that we were watching and stuff like that. What else am I? What else did I finish the final season of Cobra Kai?
I
Um,
haven't watched one season of it.
oh, it's fantastic. It's fantastic.
I respect what they did with the show in regards to bringing all the old characters back. I really do respect that. Uh, you know what I did just watch it last night? Uh, Hellboy, the Crooked Man,
Which one? The one with what's his face as the Hellboy?
the newest one. I don't know who. I
Oh,
don't
the
even know the
newest
actor.
one, not the one with that
Perlman.
with
Oh
who?
no, you're. Oh yeah, I know you're talking about the guy who's playing the guy between Perlman and this guy. Yeah, no,
Okay.
it's the newest one. It was free. I was like, all right, let me check this out. Um, I don't. Okay, so I appreciate what they did in regards to trying to shy away from what the comedic Hellboys were trying to be, but I feel like Hellboy wasn't an important character about what he should do in this role. Like it is a kind of uh, like a sci-fi mystery movie, and it could have just been played by some regular person. It didn't have to be Hellboy. So again, it's like it's a little more serious, more like okay. I kind of like the cinematography on some of it was really good, but at the end of the day, it was like, this didn't have to be a Hellboy movie. Like
I
it didn't push the envelope enough.
I feel like that with some stuff that I watch where I'm like, the only reason why they're using and let's just say Star Wars for example. You know, I'm watching something Star Wars and I'm like, the only reason why they're using Star Wars is because it's a name. They
Yeah,
could have slapped whatever they wanted on this and it would have been okay. But they slapped Star Wars so people could come and watch it. Um, since we're on the subject of you know creatures and stuff like that, Creature Commandos was surprisingly amazing.
really.
And
I started the first, and then I got sidetracked. I haven't watched anything else. I still need to get the new season of Harley Quinn.
oh yeah, I forgot where I stopped on Harley Quinn. I think she and Poison Ivy just made out. Spoiler alert.
Oh, you're way back there.
Yeah.
Have you seen did you see the spin-off Kite Man?
No, but I really like that character.
Watch it. It is great.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is entertaining.
Yeah. But Creature Commandos is about the next version of Suicide Squad.
Hmm.
And because it's a cartoon, each episode after the first, I believe, is how each character got there. You know, and they're they get kind of explicit on one of the characters, and I couldn't believe how. And this is what I like about DC is they will go raw. They will go
But
and
only in the animated. Only in the animated. Their live action blows.
yeah, yeah. And in their live animated, this one they show some shit that I couldn't even fucking believe. I was like, I
Okay.
can't believe it's
I'm
towards
gonna
the end.
watch it.
It's towards the end, but I was just like,
I don't care.
I was like, oh, they showed that. Oh my god.
I'm gonna watch it now. I'm gonna watch it just because you said that. Because I take your recommendation seriously.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I and you know to not get too sidetracked, but I know we were talking about the movies of the Oscars. I saw The Substance, and that was you know just like every horror movie, you know it's all good up until the last like 15 minutes. You know what I mean? Where it's just like you guys went 15 minutes a little too long. Had you just chopped it off 15 minutes earlier, perfect, perfect.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah. I saw Nora. Did you see Nora?
No, I haven't watched anything that was on like that was an Oscar nominated movie.
Mm.
I'll be honest with
That movie did not deserve the best Oscar. It was a good movie. It was a good movie, but to be the best Oscar, like I was just like, I don't think so.
you.
But it was a good movie. I will say that. But to me, I don't know. What I don't know what my Oscar standards are, but it was not that. Um, so yeah, so um, all around, yeah. And anything else for TV or movies that you recommend?
Mhm. Not off the top of my head. I'll go back and go through things again for our next show, whenever that may be.
Yeah, exactly. Last last call for
Off the topic.
topics.
Mm, off the top of my head, I have nothing.
Uh,
I have my final cheers. I don't have anything yet. No.
not yet. Well, don't worry. We still got a couple minutes left of this extra bonus time you guys have for now.
That you could pay for.
Yeah. For a topic, I am on my way. This has been a project now for I want to say 2 3 years of getting a laundry machine put in my condo, and I have dreamt of doing laundry at like 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning. I know that sounds weird, but to have that freedom. What's that like, David Macias? I'm jealous.
It is nice. It is nice. It is nice. I enjoy. I I like not having to go outside because I remember the first apartment I ever lived in. Like you had to like walk around to an area, and then if it's used, then you're fucked. And then like I caught people having sex while my laundry was in
Shut
there.
up. That's reserved for pornos. That really happens?
I really have it. Like I went in to go pick like to go change like my laundry. I don't remember if I was moving from the washer to the dryer or just taking my dryer, but like I caught like two people coming out like motherfuckers. There was like splooge on the floor, and I was like,
Uh,
oh, you guys are gross.
what were you caught him in the act or the act
No,
of?
it was like right after, right after.
Wow. Can you tell if like they were doing it on the machines or
I couldn't tell where they were at. The splooge was on the floor, and I was like, and then that was like, I just like I need. Like if I live and get an apartment, it's got to be in a fucking. There's got to be in unit.
I bet that guy had in unit. See you guys can. Yeah, so next week I got a plumber coming in, and then we're gonna see about that, and then begin that next phase. Um, and yeah, and then I'm going to see the man, the myth, the legend, Lionel Richie. It has been a dream of mine. People find it weird that I'm a Lionel Richie fan, which I find it weird that people are not Lionel Richie fans. Um,
But anybody like I don't know. I would say anybody less than 5 years younger than us, maybe even seven, is a Lionel Richie fan. Anything after that, okay, I kind of get. But if you're like fucking 38 and above, like you had to have liked Lionel Richie,
yeah,
right? Am I wrong? That's
you know,
like a decent time.
I think you're right. I think you're right.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, and he's not getting any older. I believe he's 75, and
Jesus Christ.
yeah, he looks great. By the way, I
I mean,
follow him
plastic
on.
surgery does that.
He would never do that. Lionel
Yeah,
Richie would
okay.
never.
You see, all night long. Oh, no.
I follow him on the gram. Yeah,
You got the grab? Okay.
I follow him on the gram. He looks pretty good. So yes, I'm really excited about it. This is I'm doing 2 trips this year, and this is the pre-trip. This is the one to get me ready for my next trip, which is in later on in in the year. But I've never done that before. I rarely ever go on trips. I rarely ever take time off from work. But this year, I was like, you know what? I was like, after buying my condo, I really just kind of settled in and I was worried about money. I was, trying to just keep up with the payments and stuff like that. And this year I was just like, I can't do that anymore. Like I just have to live my life and not be afraid of money, and but the irony is like in a month the we might shut down for a bit, but or in a or fuck next week we might shut down. And I'm just like, I'm doing all this, and I'm like, oh, of course, but you can't live like that. You just gotta kind of seize the moment, seize the day, and for a while I haven't been. I just been kind of caught in this cog of life and just trying to be responsible. And I'm not saying going on a vacation isn't responsible because I feel it is. I feel going on vacations are totally responsible because you need time off from life.
Yeah.
Um and seeing Lionel Richie I think would pretty much cement that for me. So yeah. You guys feel free to take vacations and do what you will.
And while you're on the road, listen to our podcast.
Exactly. See, David, you're finally getting it. Lastly, this year already we have lost way too many people. I've already been to a funeral and I'm probably going to another one pretty soon as well. On top of Gene Hackman, on top of Michelle Trachtenberg, who, by the way, I just found out uh, she was Harriet the Spy, and I watched that show, but I watched it, and when you're young, you don't pay attention to the credits. Like later on in life,
Yeah.
and I was just, and it dawned on me, I'm like, oh my god, she was Harriet the Spy. I was like, I never put to it. I'm like, I'm an idiot. How did I miss that? But yeah, she was Harriet the Spy, and I was just like, holy shit, those movies were great. Because for me it was Buffy, you know what I mean, that lured me in.
You're you're a trip.
you and then Euro Trip right after, I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, and of course I did pass over it really quick, but Gene Hackman, um that was crazy.
Have you watched do the story about that? Did you see the wife died and he died several days later after her, or
Yeah,
like a couple days after her?
yeah,
Nobody knew because they didn't
yeah,
find him days after he died.
yeah.
And that's sad. I mean, it makes you think like there needs to be more. You need to check in more on the people that you love, and vice versa. Like, I think it's sad. Like, he was such a great actor, and I didn't. I mean, I can't speak for his wife. I'm sure she was a lovely woman, but I feel like he didn't get the respect being found that way after all after everything. Like, I think somebody should have checked up on him.
you know I'm gonna take the other side of it, uh
By all
you know
means,
which is his death was such a perfect crime scene. You know what I mean? Like that was out of a
this is what
movie.
you're going with. This is what you're going with.
Yes, it was like, because we all were like, how did it happen? This is mysterious that only Popeye Doyle could probably, what I mean, solve. So but yes. And of course I did lose one friend that you didn't know. Um, and I went to his funeral just a week or two ago, maybe 3 weeks ago. It's been a while. You already, um, he was he was. It's funny how sometimes a friend of a friend becomes your friend, and that's who he was. And he was a really amazing person. Later on in life, and by later on in life, maybe 2-3 years ago, we kind of stopped talking, um just because life, you know what I mean. But yeah, he passed away through stomach cancer. and that's the second person within 6 7 months that I know that has passed away from this horrible disease. Um, and I just I feel for the family, feel for him, and then you just told me about some other news about Kuko, a regular at the Cove, who
Like
passed away.
if you ever like if you consider yourself a regular at the Cove and you knew Kuko, like in some passing, like he was when I first met him, it's funny because it was kind of like the first time I met him, he scared the bejesus out of us. And I just came to realize like he was younger than I was by like a couple months, and I was just like, oh shit, I didn't realize that. Um, but yeah, man, it was crazy to hear. It's sad to hear. He was a genuinely fun, good person. If you're on his good side, if you're on his good side, he he will be missed. I mean, I didn't get to go on Friday and kind of celebrate with everybody,
I
but
just found out about Friday. I was just like, I told some people, hey, let me know what's going on.
well, it was impromptu because I think because Friday was his day. You know what I mean? Friday was the day that Cuckoo was at the bar. So I think that was what they were gonna do, and I figured as much. I didn't get like any specific news either. I just I wanted to try to go, but I just couldn't, and I'm not close anymore, and it's not like it's just I don't know. I feel bad, but as you stated, like we'll probably see each other at that point.
Yeah,
But yeah, shout out to Kuko. Love you,
definitely.
man.
Shout outs to whoever we've lost and whoever you've lost. So yeah, and with that, we are going to end the show, and we will see you next time. We are out of here later.